Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for August 2024. We're going to break down each life path number and take a look at what this month could hold in store for you. This, of course, is a general forecast. If you would like your own personalized numerology reading or forecast, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're on my YouTube channel, please go ahead and hit the notification bell so that you know when I drop a video. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what August has in store. Life Path 22-4. So you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 2911 for August. So this could be a very inspiring month for you all. You could be finding that new ideas come in left, right, and center, that you feel passionate, you feel driven, you feel ambitious, feel sort of motivated to move towards some of your more creative ideas. It could be for some of you, that you talk about building your family at this time, growing your family through, having a baby or adoption, or even bringing in a new pet or something along those lines is possible. Some of you, this could bring in romance, divine partnerships at this time could come in. Your relationships could sort of be in the focus, and that's the whole art of relating. So colleagues, acquaintances, friends, family, partners, you name it, could be coming into focus at this time. Definitely soul-driven relationships, because the 29 is sort of course, it's centered around relationships because of that 2 energy, but it's also very divinely guided because of the 9. So again, this is soul-driven connection. So pay attention to who enters your realm at this time. Could also be business partnerships or collaborative partnerships where, you'll work together and you'll create beautiful soul-inspired things. I would definitely say that this is going to be a month for finding that common ground. It doesn't have to be your way or the highway. Try not to be too rigid, too controlling, too stuck in your ways. This is definitely a month for thinking outside the box, for doing what brings you passion and inspires you and leads you down a road that is way outside your comfort zone. It's interesting because you've got the 2 in the 29, right? So 2911. And your life path, your master number is 22, right? So that 2 is going to be coming into the focus strongly this month. And for you all, this is a lifetime for collaborating. It's not to be forced collaborations. It's meant to be ones where they could be difficult connections, right? 2 people with 2 different ideas of how things should work, coming together to create something really beautiful through compromise, through sharing ideas and wisdom and, that sort of bringing that independence and that autonomy to that connection and honoring that within each other. So again, this can be in a relationship. This can be, or like in a romantic relationship. It can be in a friendship. It can be in a business partnership. This is not about you doing it solely your way. There has to be compromise this month in order to achieve the greatest potential of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. There has to be that compromise, not sacrifice. Neither party should be sacrificing their needs, desires, etc., and what they need to thrive. So a lot of focus there. It could be that someone enters your realm this month where they really confront you with where it is that you might be seeing things too rigid or forcing things or trying to control the outcome too much, which can sometimes be a keynote for 4 energy. We see a solution and we know how to get there, so we're going to go in that direction. But sometimes what happens is we start working harder, not smarter. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get to that solution and make that solution happen and that it's not going to be a great solution. Just means that there might be a better way to get there, and other people can help us to see more broadly how to do that in a way that will not burn us out, and maybe where we can get to that solution much more quickly. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this? I would definitely say 100%, because you're working with this 11 vibration, to keep coming back to what inspires you with your work, with your contribution in the world, what allows you to serve a greater purpose. There's definitely, because there's such strong 2 energy here, This is not about you. This is about serving a greater purpose, your contribution, your work in the world, how you show up in the world, serving something greater than just self. So again, you're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to be open to doing things differently, to adapting, to trying something, even if it goes sort of against your idea for how it should be. Just because something has always worked doesn't mean it's the best that it can be, right? There's always going to be innovation and better ways to do things. And other people help us to see or to ignite that sort of inspiration within us sometimes. And so you could find that comes into your reality at this time. So really the question becomes, what can I invest my energy in? What can I focus on that is going to allow me to use my gifts to serve a greater purpose that I will also benefit from, but that isn't solely benefiting me? Definitely relationships in the forefront, connectivity, connecting with others, healing those relationships. There could be some healing that needs to take place. This is more focused on healing relationships, connections with others, really sort of finding the grace within those connections, communication, and release of any sort of resentment, grudges, etc. So you could kind of see that come in. If you can't do it with the person, you will likely have an opportunity to do it energetically, right? Or find a way to do it energetically. And that could be working with a healer, working with a therapist, working with your dreams, you name it. So many options could come in for working with that to release and forgive that situation and the purpose and to release them energetically, so that you're no longer carrying that burden and that heaviness with you forward, because, you're going to need the lightness to be able to step into your 22 vibration. You could see opportunities to bring greater harmony, greater balance, greater ease into your life at this time. And likely that's going to happen through your relationships with other people. You might think you're showing up to relationships in the most harmonious, balanced way, but it could be pointed out to you this month where it is that you might be a little too caught up in your own ways and you're neglecting what the other person needs. And so again, it becomes an opportunity to show up to relationships differently to get better results. I would also say this is a great month for weeding out what leaves you feeling drained. So saying no more often. That's one thing that can sometimes be a point of contention with fours and ultimately you are a 4. So is saying yes and then sort of being up for the challenge to sort of, make it happen and do it in a perfect way and see it through to completion and all the things. And we end up piling so much on our plate that we feel overwhelmed, and then we start to feel resentful, and we have to learn how to really sit with whether or not something that we're being asked to do serves us as well as serves others, right? Because if it doesn't serve us, then we're depleting ourselves. And at that point, we're not helping anyone. So this could be a month where you're really kind of being pushed to truly ask yourself, does this inspire me, or does this take my inspiration away? Does this leave me feeling fulfilled, or does this drain me? And if it drains you, then it's a no. Even if like when you think about it, you feel heavy, it feels, brings you down a little bit, it's a no. Release it. Find a way to release it. And that can be done with love and grace and gratitude. But this is definitely a month for not saying yes if we mean to say no. And kind of weeding out what we have sort of taken on that we feel overburdened by, that we need to release because it's not helping us or serving us to move forward. Now, you're also working with Kiwi energy. And Kiwi is this little flightless bird that's actually, I think, quite sacred in New Zealand. And it's interesting because what really stood out with this, when this animal came through for you all, is that is sort of to focus on your strengths this month. Don't get so caught up on your limitations, your challenges, your weaknesses. Find ways to work with your limitations. Be honest about those limitations, but don't get too caught up on them to where you feel overwhelmed by them and discouraged by them. So there will be challenges this month, because anytime we move through an 11 cycle, and this is ultimately a 29-11 cycle for you all, anytime we move through an 11 cycle, there are challenges, and usually they're pretty great. But we're meant to overcome those challenges or find ways to work with them so that we can reap the rewards of overcoming those challenges, right? Gain the wisdom and then use that wisdom to move forward. But sometimes when we see the challenge come in, we can only focus on our limitations, and we immediately see it as, well, this isn't meant for me then, and we release it, or we feel not worthy of it or whatever. And the Kiwi energy coming through just reminded me that this is a flightless bird, right? It cannot fly. It doesn't get caught up in the fact that it can't fly. It doesn't get frustrated by the fact that it can't fly. It doesn't focus on the fact that it can't fly and let that deter it from living its life to its fullest. It focuses on its strengths, right? It has other strengths that, flightless birds may not have. So it doesn't sort of pine away for what it wants but can't have. It really focuses its energy on what it does have, its strengths, and it uses those strengths to its advantage. So there's something here, 22s, that's really asking you to take a closer look at where are you focusing your energy on your limitations, your barriers, your self-imposed prison, your limiting thought patterns, etc., and where are you letting those take the lead and discourage you from what it is that you want? And where can you shift that perspective to focus on your strengths? Because trust me, there are plenty to focus on and to take up your time. So if anything comes of this month, I hope it is helping you to shift that focus more on what you can do as opposed to what you cannot do. To focus on the green lights as opposed to focusing on the red lights, because that's what's going to help you to achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve. So beautiful energy this month, 22s. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.